Hi there. Hope you're all doing well. I just thought I would make this video for those of you who are sitting at home, who want to do yoga, really enjoy doing yoga, or would like to start doing yoga, and you think, but I have no props, I have nothing with me to do something with. So I wanted to do this just to give you an idea of what you could or couldn't use, especially if you're going to do a yin yoga class. Yin requires a lot of props normally. It's not that you have to have them, but they are so supportive and so wonderful that it's kind of nice to have them. One of the first things you'll see in a yin class are blocks. These wonderful foam blocks. They're really lightweight. Sometimes they're 3 inches, others are 4 inches. They're be a lot wider. They are great to support legs, to sit on, to use for props for your hands if you're leaning over in something. For yin, they can be used to support your head, your body. A lot of wonderful uses. They keep you from tightening up. If you're sitting in butterfly and your leg is sticking way up, you can put a block under so your leg gets to relax and rest and the tissues and have an opportunity to shift. But you're thinking, I don't have blocks at home. Go into your garage if you have one. Do you have any wooden chunks in there? Do you have anything at all that's kind of squared, solid? I guarantee most of you have some kind of book. So you've got some big books at home. You could take one, or you could stack a couple. If you think they're going to slide around, maybe you tie them up, or you stick them in a bag so they're bundled up and they're nice and solid. Wrap a piece of cloth around. I've got here from Bernie Clark, From the Gita to the Grail. Then you'll also have some good reading material afterwards. A little irony, Bullfinch's mythology, since this is a lot about the myths. Here's the mythology. And a little tongue-in-cheek for times of pandemic from Naomi Klein. This changes everything. And look at the size of these books. They're wonderful. So you could stack 2 together. You could stack 3. They can be used under your feet for support. If you want to do a balance work, you could step your feet 2 brick books under 1 foot, and then your other foot can be off the ground for balance. Grab what you have and use that. You've seen foam blocks. Maybe you sat on them. You really like them. They act wonderfully like a wedge for your tailbone to shift your pelvis forward when you're trying to sit in what's supposed to be easy pose, but is not so easy for everybody. So you can place that under the tailbone. Again, if you're sitting in a chair, you could place it under your feet so that instead of your leg having a downward slant, you now have a nice even slant to your legs. They're parallel to the earth. This is good for those of you, forget yoga, a little aside, for those of you who are doing a lot of work on computers now because you're working at home. Even if you're working in the office, it'll give you some support. If you don't have a block like that, though, it doesn't matter. Do you have a good big towel that you can fold into layers and have it just about as thick? What about another book that's a different height? Maybe you have different arts and crafts things around that you'd never thought of. Consider grabbing them and bringing them out. Then there's the wonderful yoga strap. Yoga straps are great. You can use them to hook under feet when you want to get a stretch and you can't reach your foot. Maybe you're lying on your back doing this exact same thing to give your back a break. You want to get into your hamstrings. And you're thinking, but I don't have a yoga strap. But a lot of you have some kind of scarf at home or a chunk of material. Maybe you have old sheets that you're going to get rid of. You can tear them into strips and use a strip as a strap. Just look around. You don't need to buy all this stuff right now. You're trying to conserve a little cash, or you don't want props at home once this is done, then consider what you do have. Blankets can be great support, but they can also double as a bolster. So you've got a lovely bolster here. They're wonderful. They're great support for so much. But do you have one? No, that's fine. Take a blanket, find an angle that works. Usually a square is quite nice, and then you can take it and roll your blanket and keep it rolling, and you eventually have a small version of a bolster. If you want it thicker, use a thicker blanket or double this up. And now you have the same thing. You have yourself a bolster. It doesn't take much to start to look around. Get creative with what you have in your space so that when you sit down to do a practice with somebody or on your own, you have things that will support you and you're not thinking, but this is uncomfortable and this hurts, I wish I had something. You do. The other one I'm sitting on, it's a chair. This is one of the best props you could have, and most people have a chair at home. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you don't have enough room to get down on the floor and move, or you're busy during the day, you're still one of the people working, sit in your chair and you've got a wonderful prop. Here you have leverage. You have the back of a chair that you can use as leverage to take you into a twist. Maybe you need a back bend. You can rest and reach out behind it. If you clasp your hands, the top of that chair will give you the heart opener, give you that release for your upper back muscles. It's also a great way to do a forward fold if you don't have props to lean on and your hamstrings are too tight for you to fold forward. You can just sit here, lean between your legs, and let your head hang. It's also great if you're feeling unstable. There you go. You have got something you can rest your fingers on so that if you do some form of balance, you've got something that lets your mind, lets your body know that it is safe. And anytime you can sit back down. You can even do Savasana in a chair. Close your eyes, get your feet on one of those props or books that you thought you had. Sit back, take a deep breath in. Let it go, and you're ready for your yoga. I just wanted to make sure you all had an idea of what you can do for yourself. All these things that I've shown you, whether they're yoga props that you traditionally see now, or if they're things that you've got sitting around your home, look at them with new eyes, play with them, and when you do a class, you are ready. Hope you all stay well. I'm not going to stay safe. We're always safe. It's just how we care for ourselves that makes us unsafe. So stay well. Stay a little joyful and find something new and different to do each day while you have the time. Namaste.